Cottonwood Heights, Utah, right outside of Salt Lake City, and close to God's favorite place on earth, which is Park City. If you haven't been, you should go, but don't take up my space. So everybody, thank you. We are at the open house for Dr. Wood's office. He is helping injured federal workers in Utah. And as far as I know, this is the only place in Utah to do it. But the good news is, although this was fast getting open, he's got like 5 more offices coming, I heard today. So we'll have to put our foot in the backside to make those happen. But for now, we're here, moving across the street to a much larger area as well. So those plans, I mean, he's got huge plans to help a lot of people. And we have a lot of people here tonight. So when I do these things, I like to do a short class and teach something about what we're doing because it's useful. But the thing that I've been talking about a lot lately, especially since the new CA10 came out. So who here has not heard me speak before? Okay, fantastic. Have you ever heard of a CA10? Exactly. So the answer was no. It's always no. So you gave the answer everyone gives. So there's this form called a CA10. It's what a federal employee should do when injured at work. What you should do when injured at work. Does that sound important or important? It's important, except nobody's ever heard of it. Well, many of you have heard me say this, and almost everybody that's watching live, is that up until last October, it had not been revised since 1987. This form that tells you what to do when you get hurt at work has not been revised for like 30-something years. And I would ask the question, who's heard of it? And I would get that answer. None. Nobody. Let's say, so for 30 years, you never heard of this form. It says post on your bulletin board. You haven't seen it on your bulletin boards? Obviously, the answer is no. But the rhetorical is, no, of course not. So for 30 years, this had not been posted on bulletin boards, and nobody had ever heard of it. So they just edited the form. So October of last year, they revised it. And now, instead of saying post on employee's bulletin board, it says post on agency's website. So my new fun question is, who goes to your agency's website just for the heck of it? Who does that? Like, if you work for the post office, who goes to USPS? Okay. I mean, not for fun. Okay. So you're not going to the website. I think I'm a little closer. So you're not going to the website, and you haven't heard of the form. So who here, raise your hand, will go to a website to look for a form you've never heard of? Obviously, nobody. So the form just got buried more. It's more invisible than it's ever been. So there are going to be more and more people than ever before not knowing what to do when they get hurt. And so we've got people here that have dealt with this themselves. You have a ton of people that you're helping out that are dealing with it. And folks just don't know what to do when they get hurt. And now they can't find this form. And even if they could, they're not looking for it because they never heard of it. So that's a problem. And so it's made me think, especially since it was revised and made worse by posting on the agency's website, that how are people going to get help? So number one, most states, like Utah, didn't have a single doctor that would be willing to help. Now we have that. So we've solved that problem. But now that Dr. Wood's here to do this, how are people going to find out? They're not going to look at a CA10 that tells them you have the right to choose your own doctor. So what are they going to do? They're going to go wherever the supervisor tells them to go, which leads to what? Denied claims. I mean, the worst possible stuff happens to people. Have you ever heard of anybody go homeless?
Not yet, but
that's so good because I have too many times.
Mom.
Well, it happens though around the country. Like most people heard me say in New York, this union president said, "I'm tired of seeing my people go homeless." It's a real story. I tell the story all the time with a lady that was on the phone with me, out of breath, packing to move and had no place to go, but she just got evicted. So there's all kinds of horror stories like that are 100% avoidable when you have at least one doctor who's willing to get in the fight, which is what we're doing now. And so nobody's going to see that CA10. It is buried. It is the most hidden, covert, stealth form that's ever been written. Nobody's going to find it, okay? Except you can take it back to your stations and post it. Do we have any here we can print out? I'm sure, because we have the internet. So we have brochures here. Who would be willing to take brochures back to work and show it to somebody? Yeah. Oh, you would too? Thanks. Dr. Wood said yes. That's what's needed, because what they've done effectively by changing this form is made it to where nobody's ever going to get help. The first part of this form says, go report to your supervisor. Well, most people think that's painful. I mean, you like working with your supervisor? The only people I know that like working with their supervisor are people that work for me. But definitely not you, okay? They're all out there right now. But that's the first thing that you're not going to know about because you can't find the form. The second thing, you can choose your own doctor, which you're not going to know about because you couldn't find the form. So you're going to go where they tell you to go. Who's heard of a CA-16? Well, okay. But you're not going to hear of a CA-16 that pays your bills for 60 days because you can't find the form and never heard of it. So all these problems are because the form is going to be hidden. So everyone has an opportunity to unhide the thing. You unhide it by putting it and posting it where it should have been all along, posting it in bulletin boards. Jerry from Virginia says, post it on the inside of the bathroom stalls, which I really love that idea. The point is everywhere. Where's a good place for it? Any place you can put it up. Supervisors are going to take it down. We put it back up. They'll take it down again. We put it back up, again, up, until they say, hey, stop putting that thing up. And as they're saying, stop putting it up, you go, okay, as you're putting another one up. It needs to be out there where people can see it. But in the absence of it, there's you. Okay? Every person can tell somebody that there's help. And that's what I hope will happen. Because if we rely on the government's way of notifying you and what to do, it'll just be like it's always been, which has been horrible, right? It's terrible. It doesn't have to be terrible anymore. We've been getting claims accepted since the first day I ever did this. And ever since, the only thing we do is get claims accepted. That's how it should be. There's no other acceptable result than an accepted claim. So Dr. Wood will tell you, we teach this, that denied claims are for other doctors. We don't do that. But your friends and your coworkers, and hopefully you have friends who are coworkers, they're going to be suffering if you let them. And so that's kind of my message these days is don't let them suffer. It's to them going to be just like Dr. Wood's not here until they find out that he is. So again, who's willing to go tell people? Yeah, so I appreciate that. Here's the next question I love to ask. If you had to think in your head, how many people at work do you know right now that are suffering with something and they need help? How many people do you know? How many people do you know that need help?
Very funny, but they won't put a claim for.
Well, they will, because they're going to see your good results and they're going to want some of that. Trust me. And I know you have a lot of people. And that's the whole point, is that we all know more than one person. Everyone knows multiple people. When I'm in a room full of you, and you heard me ask the question, I'll ask, what percentage of your coworkers do you think have some sort of work injury? And we settle on half, but there's always going to be a bunch of people in the room going, it's not half, it's 70%. It's everybody. We get it yelled, everybody. It's not everybody. But if it's half, that means if you look to your right and your left, one of them has a problem. Okay, so everyone has an opportunity to help everyone that needs the help. So let's get to it. And that's it for tonight. I just want to say the CA-10 is buried. It's invisible. You should get them and print them and post them everywhere. Take our brochures. Let people know that this is here now, that we can help. Anybody have any questions about anything? Anyone?
Who's the doctor behind this?
Oh, I was supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Doctor, would come over.
She almost got away.
Yeah,
Just
really need credit.
The camera needs to see you. So this is Dr. Wood. Say hello. I was telling them to say hello to you. So I always say this. For every 100 doctors I speak to, one says yes. The other one say absolutely not. Why would you even bother talking to me about work comp? But we had dinner with him one night, and here he is. So this is for that. We're going to help thousands of people. So thanks for that. All right. Oh,
I'm gonna go hide me.
Yeah, go back and hide, and we'll come find you later. All right, so that's it. Thank you all for being here. And for everybody that didn't come, tell them to be here next time. Take brochures, take CA-10s, and let's get the word out. Okay.